Welcome back to the Toyota-Napa Auto Parts Bonus Challenge. We've already seen Paulie Haraka go down pit road while we were away, and here comes Luis Martinez also coming down the pit lane.
Yeah, I don't think these guys will be in their pit window. They may decide to top a little fuel off here and maybe make some adjustments for later on this race.
Green is back out, and look at Long down on the outside now of Pursley.
Drag race down this long straightaway. See Moses Smith sticks his nose out, looks underneath his teammate of Eric Holmes, thinks better of it, backs off.
Boy, that looks cool. 3 wide down that front straightaway.
170 miles an hour, hard on the brakes, getting in turn number 1. How about Patrick Long now jumps to the outside of Greg Pursley?
And this is going to get tight right here. You cannot go side by side. Patrick Long, though, on the inside of Pursley.
Pursley gives him room, but is able to pull out in front. Mayhew now looks to the inside.
Boy, these guys know how to handle this road course. Mayhew, who started on the front row, now running third, and don't look now, but here comes Eric Holmes as well, the points leader. Brandon Davis also running very strong now.
Yeah, Brandon Davis now up into the 4th position. He finished 3rd at Infineon, has a good top 5 on the road course this year. He's a road racing expert.
This is Brandon Davis's first start ever here at Miller Motorsports Park. He's focusing primarily on the road course events in this series. There are 3 of them during the year. This the last one.
You know, Mike, we talk about road racing experts like a Patrick Long or like an Eric Curran, maybe Brandon Davis, but almost everybody in this field raced go-karts or something on the road course over the years, so it's not like these guys are brand spanking new on a road course.
Right, and as you know, all these young guys are big time into the video games, which have the road course that you can actually run on the video game, and these guys say that gives them some experience as well.
I can't run a lap on a road course on a video game without spinning out.
Not Phil Parsons, come on.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Well, no spins for the boys up front here, and Greg Pursley and Patrick Long. As you see that field, the front 10 pretty much single file now.
There's a good side-by-side battle for 10th. There's Jonathan Gomez and Jim Englebright. Jim won on the road course last year at Portland, and I remember in the old Southwest Tour, he won 3 times in a row at Infineon.
And I remember Richard Childress hiring him to run a cup race at Infineon one time.
Looks like he's able to get by Gomez, at least for a moment anyway. Now they're still side-by-side.
Englebright, who was once a full-time racer in this series, now part-time schedule. Hoping to make his presence known here, but not able to get around the 22 car.
That's the 38 right behind Jim Englebright. That's Troy Ermish. And then the 96 of Barbosa. Ooh, Gomez goes wide. Englebright gets to the inside, takes over that spot.
Be interesting to see how the veteran Barbosa, who's here to run in the Grand Am Series this weekend, will handle these cars. And these cars do have a much different feel than those Grand Am cars.
Well, they're so much heavier, and then basically with 15-inch wheels, 15-inch tires, they're limited to the amount of brakes that they can get under those wheels. So that's the big thing, is the weight of these cars and the fact that they will not brake like those Grand Am cars.
How much do you have to take care of your brakes during a race like this?
I was talking to Paulie Haraka, and he said this is a racetrack that has a lot of braking zones here, a lot of long braking zones, as we see side by side for the lead for just a moment.
Patrick Long's taken a look several times, not able to get by. Maybe he is here. Long able to get by, get a nose out front, and Pursley trying to hold him off. He's not going to be able to. We have a new leader, Patrick Long.
He does it the hard way on the outside. What a great move by a veteran road racer, Patrick Long.
And Pursley now tucks right behind him. He's not content to run second place.
He's going to pull to the inside going down this long straightaway. He'll be on the inside when they get to turn 1.
Pursley almost got a wheel off course there, able to hang on to it. And look at Pursley on the inside. Boy, some great racing right here. Getting a super view of it is David Mayhew in that orange 17 car.
You know, Patrick Long dominated practice, set a new track record qualifying. I'm not sure he was expecting these guys to be running with him like they are.
Well, you know, in running a limited schedule, he told Derek Bernasiglio he's not happy with running well here. The only thing that's going to make him happy today is winning the race. So he's not going to hold anything back.
And he does a pretty darn good job of it. He's a two-time winner here in this series on road courses and come close a couple other times.
I've been really impressed with how smooth most of these drivers are, some of them with not a whole lot of road course experience.
Right now, Greg Pursley's been extremely impressive.
Well, a chance to show their stuff, and again, there are several other series who have run here this weekend.
David Mayhew's done a nice job hanging right with these front two as well. There's Brandon Davis, 3 or 4 car lengths behind Mayhew.
Long out in front, Pursley, Mayhew, Davis, and Sousa in the Toyota-Napa Auto Parts Bonus Challenge. Welcome back to Miller Motorsports Park. There's our new leader, Greg Pursley, and the reason is Patrick Long has gone down on the pit lane.
Yeah, I think Patrick Long right now feels that he's in his pit window. Be interesting to see whether he gets any tires. I think maybe fuel only. A lot of these guys were talking about fuel only. There he is. He just gets stopped in his pits. Fuel only for this 9 car as well as a chassis adjustment.
So an adjustment for Long, and he'll now try to make his way up through the field as the lead has gone back to Greg Pursley. David Mayhew running second, and they're taking their time making sure they get that car packed with fuel. Yeah, they had to plug that second can in. It took more than 1 can. There's Barbosa, the 96 car, coming in. Also, as Patrick Long makes his way back towards the racetrack. 35 miles an hour, the pit road speed here at Miller Motorsports Park. And you run a road course a little bit differently than we do as we watch our leader, Greg Pursley, as an oval. You want to stop under the green. Right now, Patrick Long, if the caution flag were to come out, he would be fine with that. He would be allowed to close up on the field. All these front-running cars right now, or probably in their pit window, have elected not to pit yet, so that would put him right in front of those guys when they do come to pit road. You want to be the first guy in as long as you have enough fuel to get to the end. And you wonder now how that's going to affect the strategy of Pursley and Mayhew. I think it's a situation where they don't want to stay out much longer. They know Patrick Long has already come to pit road as we watch a good battle for the 5th spot with teammates Eric Holmes and Moses Smith. Haven't called Moses Smith's name today. He is a guy who has had some good moments this season in that Bill McAnally car. And speaking of Bill McAnally, there you see 2 of his cars right here. He has a number of cars today, including the car driven by Eric Curran, who's here driving in the Grand Am Series. Had to go to the rear to start this race because of an engine change and trying to make his way up through the field. Yeah, Eric had a great qualifying effort, but had to change engines. Was relegated to the very back of the pack. But this is, even though this race is only 36 laps on a 3-mile racetrack with a couple of full course cautions thrown in there, you can make up some ground. And Phil, our leader, Greg Pursley, is headed down pit road now. Yeah, we thought that they would need to come in fairly soon since Patrick Long has already made his way down pit road. They're in their window now. If this race goes green the rest of the way, they know that they can make it on fuel. You see the second can goes in for Greg Pursley as well. Both cars, Patrick Long and Craig Pursley, both took at least 1 can plus a little bit out of the second can, and we have a new leader, David Mayhew. Yeah, it is Mayhew, but he's going to have to make a stop, and I think he would do that fairly soon. Brandon Davis running second. Eric Holmes now in the 4th position, and here comes Pursley back on the racetrack. His catch can is still stuck in that car. He's going to have to make his way back to pit road to get that catch can removed. Oh, my. After all the things that have happened to him this season, look at it right there. You see the catch can. And guess who's right behind him, Mike? Patrick Long. So he beat Patrick Long off of pit road back to the racetrack, and unfortunately will have to come back in. What a tough break it is for Greg Pursley, who has won several poles this year. He's been literally in the wrong place at the wrong time, and now a mistake by the crew is going to force him back down on pit road and really cost him some time. You know, right now we see the 20 of Eric Holmes running up in the top 5. He knows his closest pursuer right now, David Mayhew, has been running extremely well and leading this race. There you see Stan Silva, who's also starting to have a pretty good day here, but Mayhew is going to have to come down pit road pretty soon, and he's going to have to give up that lead. Yeah, all of these cars right now running in the top 5 have not pitted yet. We know we cannot run this entire race on fuel. They're going to have to make their way down pit road. There comes David Mayhew right now, coming in, our leader, to pit road. And that's going to give the lead now to Brandon Davis. that we saw run a pretty good race at Sonoma.
David Mayhew, let's see if he puts tires on now. Looks like it's going to be fuel only for him again, as well as a chassis adjustment. See if they have to plug in that second can. There's Brandon Davis. He's also on pit road.
Brandon Davis did not lead this race very long.
There's Todd Souza, the top 3 cars right now on pit road, as well as the 5th place car of Stan Silva.
And there's David Mayhew pulling out of the pits. We know there's going to be a big shakeup in the top 5, and we also know that we're going to see Greg Persley come down on pit road again pretty soon.
He has to get that catch can removed. As a matter of fact, he's top of our screen now. He is making his way to pit road right now. There's Todd Souza. He's getting fuel only.
Everybody packing it slam full. Fuel may be a story in this race. Persley coming into his pits. Let's go down now to Derek Pernisiglia.
Greg Persley comes back into the pits in the number 26 car. Tough break for him. He left the gas can in the back of the car. Had to come in for a stop and go penalty. Almost missed the gas can again. Persley pulls out of his pit. They grab the gas can just in time, and now Greg Persley is down and away.
And it's going to make the job today for Greg Persley a little tougher. There's our new leader, Moses Smith, out in front.
As his teammate Eric Holmes right now right behind him in the 2nd position. We know these guys have yet to make a pit stop. They're going to have to make their way down pit road here pretty soon.
Yeah, this running order is really going to sort itself out in a couple of minutes. But to do that, Smith and Holmes are going to have to come down pit road and take on fuel.
You know, Mike, it takes almost 2 minutes to get around this place. Actually, maybe even a little bit more than 2 minutes in race trim. So Greg Persley is not in any danger of going a lap down, but he's lost a lot of track position. He's going to need a caution flag to catch back up.
And you know, Phil, it's a real credit to the Goodyear tire that these guys have bolted on. The fact that they're not having to change tires and just making an adjustment and putting fuel in.
Looks like Moses Smith's going to make his way down the pit road again. Now another leader going to make his way onto pit road.
So the lead has really changed a lot here over the last few minutes, as Moses Smith will come to the attention of his crew, and he'll no doubt get an adjustment and take on fuel. And there, about right behind him, is Eric Holmes.
Both of those cars looks like they're going to get fuel only. There's Jonathan Gomez, the 22, also coming in. Chassis adjustment for Eric Holmes' car. Top of your screen. There's Daryl Haar, the 71, making his pit stop.
And interesting again, and it was a good point that you made, that it's under green, which is the preferable time to stop for these cars. And the lead now goes back to David Mayhew. So we've come full circle. Mayhew out in front, and Long is running 2nd right behind him.
Looks like David Mayhew maybe did a little bit better job getting onto pit road and his pit stop, because he comes out in front of Patrick Long.
Todd Souza, Moses Smith, and Thomas Martin all running in the top 5.